Wow. That's amazing. Is he black? Your cousin not black? You can't be black in England? There are tons of black people in England? They speak British? Uh, you say hi to them? Did you say hello to them? Did you say hi to the blacks? There were no blacks? You didn't see any blacks at all? And did you say hello to them? You said, hello, blacks. We're from America. Did you say that? What did you say? You just looked at them? Oh. Oh, you don't? You said when you're not in the car? Oh, I feel the same way.
I see a person out the street over there. I just get out of the church and say, hello, black person. I don't say that.
Oh, you don't like them?
Oh.
Good morning. Welcome to Fellowship. I'm Jesse Lee Peterson. Thank you all for being with me. I do appreciate it. You can get involved by going to our YouTube chat line, and Hake will pass on your questions and comments to me, all right? I'm not wearing a jacket again. I apologize sincerely, but it's too hot. It's just the lights are all bright. Well, not, those lights are. And then it's summertime, it's 90 degrees, and then I'm kind of fat, so I got a lot of hot issue going on here. So I do apologize for not wearing a jacket. I will when the winter come back. All right. Good morning, y'all. How's everybody? Nice. Anybody here for the first time? Amazing. Right here.
Hi.
What's your name and how did you hear about us?
My name is Reed, and my mom watches your stuff.
Nice. Well, welcome.
Thank you.
I appreciate you being here. How old are you?
I'm 13.
13. Nice. And this is your first time?
Yeah.
Speaking to the mic for me. What's your name and how did you hear about us?
My name is Waylon, and
Speaking to the mic for me.
my name is Waylon, and I heard about you the same way that my brother did.
Oh, okay. Well, welcome, all right. How old are you?
I'm like 9.5-ish,
9.5-ish?
kind of,
And how much is an ish?
like a month.
A month?
Yeah.
So you're 9.5-ish month. Right?
Uh,
I understand.
I'm 9.5.
Right on. You're old. Is that old?
I don't know.
No, it's not old. Well, welcome, all right?
Thank you.
Let me talk to you. That's your mother there? You the mother? What's your name and how did you hear about us?
Hi, I'm Kay, and I heard about you on YouTube.
Right on. Welcome.
Thank you.
You guys live in L.A.?
No, in San Diego County.
Really? Okay.
Yeah.
Well, welcome.
Thank you.
All right. And this is your first time?
Yes. Hi, my name is Anna, and he brought me here.
And he brought you?
Yeah.
You don't know his name?
I do. Colin.
What's his name?
Colin.
What?
Colin.
What?
Colin.
Call him? No, I'm joking. Well, welcome.
Thank you.
Welcome. All right. Any questions from the first timers? No? Okay. Anybody have any questions? No. That's your daddy? Yeah. Does he know you don't like him? Do you know he don't like you?
I hope he loves me.
No. Sorry.
I was trying to explain to him that I resent him. Yes.
See? What do you think about that?
I think it's great.
What?
I think it's great.
That he resents you?
He was explaining a little bit about it on the way over here.
And you think it's great that he resents you?
I don't know. I've never really thought about that.
Yeah. I know what you mean. I feel that way about my son. I don't care if he resents me. That's great. You know why it's so good when your kids resent you? Is you don't have to get them money.
Oh, you don't have to go.
Have you noticed that he never asks for money when he's mad? So you're lucky. So stay that way.
Okay.
I like it when my son's mad at me. He never asks for money. But when he's happy with me, and I can feel that thing coming on to ask for money, I'll say something really fast to make him mad. Amazing. So, okay, so no questions, right? Yes. Thank God. Somebody worked on their life this week.
Well, hang on a second, though. I have a question, but I'm going to bring it up a little later.
No, go ahead.
These lot I was going to ask you later.
I'm sorry?
A little bit later.
After the meeting?
No, in the meeting, but maybe when they go outside for a bit.
Oh, you got to put the kids out first?
Yeah.
Oh, you got to put the kids out before you can ask this question?
Yeah, a little bit.
Oh, throw the kids out.
All right, y'all can go with your headset if you want. Cool.
She said, that's not fair. Huh?
Yeah, you go play it.
Can you put it ready?
No, not outside. Go play
In
it.
the lobby. You can come back later after your mother's done talking about your father. Bye. Yeah, don't fall.
Yeah, I know. Now I'm on the spot.
Okay.
So I know you always say, have you had a life this week? So I've had a life. I mean, in the 2 weeks that I went to England, so without going into too much detail, I had a question about some like relationship stuff with people back home.
Yes.
And like how to deal with specific issues and struggling in the different dynamics of people back home.
Right.
So recently, some of which they know, obviously, but not details. My sister has been married for like 22, 23 years, 3 kids. And then the last 6 months, she basically rolled out of the relationship and did it in a really, really bad way.
She did what?
She rolled out. So she
rolled out?
She rolled out.
What does that mean, she rolled out? She broke up with her?
Yeah, she broke up with him and left.
With her husband?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
And it's kind of, in a sense, after my dad died last year, it's kind of just blown everything up even more so. And the person that she's gone off with has made it even more difficult. And
So the man she left with has made the family issues, the whole family issue, bad?
yeah, so
Okay.
because her husband was like a brother to us. So
Right.
she started dating with him when she was like 16, 17.
Right, okay.
Now she's nearly 40. So she's been with him like her whole entire life. 3 kids. We've all grown up together, like me and Anthony, my younger sister, and
got you.
like the family dynamic, right? So she's left, been with somebody else, and just the way she went about it was really, really bad. But I'm really kind of struggling now in how to deal with her and how to accept. I don't know how to explain it, like how she's done it and what she's done,
Right.
and the ripple effect that it's had on her children, plus her husband, plus the rest of the family. And I've explained to her, like she's asked me, I've explained to her my stance on it and how I feel about it and what's wrong, what's right. But at the end of the day, she's an adult and she can make her own decisions.
Right.
But like now, I don't really know how to move forward with her and what kind of boundaries I should be putting up, because the person that she's gone off with is somebody else that's not who she was with,
Right.
gender-wise. So it's thrown another loop.
You said gender-wise?
Gender-wise,
What
yeah.
does that mean? She went with a she went with a
Yeah,
woman?
I'm just, because the kids are out there, I'm just trying to be
I see.
somewhat,
Oh,
roundabout.
So she went with a woman?
Yeah.
Okay.
mhm. And, we knew nothing about this. Like, it's like come out of nowhere. And then she's slowly bringing in this person. And her husband is being a complete beta. Like, he's had conversations with Anthony because he needed somebody kind of outside of the situation.
Right.
He's he's a Christian, so he has different stance on his marriage and beliefs, and then it's causing like tension with the children because he's raising his children that certain things are right and wrong, whereas she's now gone loopity-loo. So I just kind of don't really know how to deal with her now that she's in this new place.
And so you said she spoke to you about what was going on? She talked to you about it?
Yeah, so like before I went, she kind of communicated with me that she didn't want to talk about it at all and that she was kind of uncomfortable and she was kind of setting the scene for when I came over. So I was like, we've already had this conversation. I'm not going to be beating you over the head with it. Like, you know
Right.
how I feel. Like, it is what it is. But when I went over there, like, she brought it up all the time and wanted to have conversations about it all the time. But now it's, like, really awkward. And my younger sister hasn't dealt with it very well because
What
of
a
the way
mess,
that...
huh? What a mess.
It's a huge mess. And it's just basically blown up everything over there. And I don't know how do I continue just to have a normal relationship, or like how much do I tolerate? Like how much is okay for me to be in fellowship with her?
I understand.
So I'm a little bit lost in how to deal with it.
I understand. This young lady want to respond to that, to tell you how to deal with it. I'm just going to get one response from somebody, and she's dying to tell you how to deal with it, and then I'll put my 2 cents in, all right, right here.
Yeah, how should she deal with it?
Well, I do have a sister, and if that was my sister, I
Speak
will...
up for me. Speak louder for
Oh,
me.
I do have a sister, and if it was my sister, I think I would try to understand her.
Yeah,
Okay.
speak right. Thank you.
I will try to understand her, but at the same time, I will try to tell her what's right and wrong.
You would try to tell her what's right?
And wrong.
Oh, okay. Amazing.
Yeah.
Here's how you deal with it. Don't resent her. And don't have any personal opinion about it. The only thing that she's done would expose the whole family. The blowing up of the family is showing you there's no love in the family is fake anyway, and that even the Christians judging one another and all that. Be glad to see that, because just as it's happened to him, it'll happen to you if you ever did something they didn't like. Let's say you walked out on your husband one day. They all turn on you too. You don't have to agree with it. Don't agree with it, of course, but do not be angry at her about it, period. But if she asks, be honest about it. You know what? This is not good for what I'm throwing out stuff. This is not good for the kids. But the kids are grown now, right? I'm sorry. You don't want to give her the mic?
They're the same sort of age, 11, 8, and 5.
Okay.
So they're young.
Yeah. This is not good for the kids. You know, it's not good for the kids to see this at this time. But don't resent it. Be honest about it. And she will determine the truth that's coming out of you without judgment will determine if she'll come around or not.
And I've done all those things. Like, I haven't resented her. I've kind of kept my emotions out of it. I've just kind of dealt with it as it's come up, and I don't resent her. Like, I understand why she is where she is and the details of what's happened. I think my question more so to you, to be more precise, is practically, how do I deal with it? Like, if she starts bringing this person around, you know, do I want my children around that, and that becomes normal? And
have
like,
a wait and see.
Okay,
And I never live in the future.
for sure.
Never take no thought about tomorrow. Always have a way to see about everything. And if it should happen, you will see perfectly how
What
to
to do.
deal with it. Don't assume you're going to know because you just don't know.
Yeah.
She could come around you one time with it, and she may be seeking help this time. And God may give you something to say to her that can help her. So don't prepare. Have a way to see.
For sure.
And then when the other family members try to talk to you about her, tell them to go to her.
That's the thing. It's all become like
Yeah.
how is she today? Because it's like she's not just done that. It's like her mindset, if I could sum it up, has become incredibly liberal, like completely like just off the wall with her thoughts and her ideas. And she's constantly listening to music 24/7. And like my mom is saying to her, like, you can't have your headphones on with music when you have the children. Like it's
Does
not.
she live at home?
So she was with my mum for about 6 weeks when she moved out from the family home.
Oh.
And then now she has a big house because she's got her business inside of her house. And she has
So
to
she
have,
has her own place.
she has her own place, but it's
So if
literally
you-
across the street from my mum's house.
So if your mother doesn't want her around, your mother should tell her, don't come around with that.
No, she's not saying she can't come around. She's saying that I'm noticing that when you're at home with the kids, when it's your time to have them, you're constantly got your headphones in, and you can't have your headphones in when you've got your children. You're supposed to be paying attention
Oh, I
to
see.
what's going on. Do you see what I'm saying?
Tell your mother to stay out of it.
Okay. So
She's
just
a
let
grown woman.
her do whatever.
She got to learn from her own mistakes. If she doesn't go through that, how would she know? At some point, she's going to do it anyway. So your mother needs to stay out of it.
So then should I not be giving advice unless she's asking for my opinion?
Your mother,
My sister.
if she asks you, give it to her, but be honest with her. Just don't be judgmental.
Okay.
But be absolutely truthful,
Yeah, I
honestly
have
with
been.
her,
Yeah.
but not judgmental.
Okay.
That makes sense?
Yeah.
Because maybe she's asking you because there's something she sees in you that make a little sense that she might not understand.
Yeah.
And so if you be honest with her, no, I don't agree with that, or whatever the truth tell you, then absolutely give it to her.
Okay.
If she asks you, absolutely.
Okay.
But don't impose it on her.
Yeah, I didn't. Yeah.
Don't be preaching at her. Don't be pointing it out every time you see her. But be honest if she asks.
It's interesting because before I left, we had all the conversations that we needed to have. And I said, I've said what I've said and it's all good. Like, you do whatever you want to do. And it's just really interesting how she set the scene up for, like, I don't want to talk about it. And I was like, yeah, that's cool. And then I get over there and she's bringing it up every time.
Yeah.
And I've given her, in love, without judgment, my opinion. And I've tried to not be too abrasive, but also
Right.
speak truth without
Yes.
judgment, and really like watch myself and how I feel about it. And then kind of just stay out of it, but at the same time, love her with real love, because
Yeah.
she's still a person and she's going through what she's going through. And that could be me, like, it could be my other sister or whoever. None of us are far from making massive mistakes.
Two hoops and a holler from
Exactly.
becoming Jeffrey Dahmer. Every human being. 2 hoops and a holler from becoming Jeffrey Dahmer. So you're right about that.
Yeah.
And you notice how she didn't want to talk about it. Oh, I don't want to talk about it. But then you were like, okay, I don't want to talk about it. And now she want to talk about it, right?
Like literally every day. The 10 days I was there, it came up every day.
That's right.
I was just like, okay.
Because she loved the thrill when people try to make her talk about it. It's a thrill not to want to talk about it. But if someone don't want to talk about it, then the thrill is not there, so she got to get a thrill, so now she want to talk about it.
But it's just so messy because it's like he's being so beta about it, and I'm just like, she's literally calling out and crying out for you to stand up and be like a man and tell her that that's not cool and how you did it was like terrible, and all the details that I'm not going to go into, but like, that's not acceptable, and I'm not tolerating that. And if you want to behave like that and that's what decisions you make, then you go off on your own. My children won't be but he's all like soppy and like,
Well, that's why she went to women, because her husband is weak, her father's weak, every man she runs into is weak, and she's yearning for the love of a father, so she's looking for love.
Yeah,
So that's why she went that way, because she hates the weak men,
Yeah.
and now she's attracted to that. But it's not going to work.
No, I've already told her that.
Yeah, it's not going to work.
Yeah.
But she's searching, so leave her alone and let her
Let her
find a
be.
way.
Okay.
And don't gossip with the family about it.
Okay.
And your mother need to back away from it. She's a grown woman. That's her kid. Those are her kids. She got to pay the price for whatever happened with them. It's on her.
Yeah. It's already affecting the kids though, and I think that's the main thing that I think most
But
of the
kids
family
was
are.
already affected before the breakup happened.
Sure, this has just kind of tripled it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you already. Because this woman wasn't happy, so that means that they've been fighting at home ever since. So, all along.
Yeah, and I think as well, like the one thing I really noticed, like when I go back there, I see my mum and the different things that I used to resent in her and I used to hate about her until I went to her and forgave her and, did all of that. Now that I'm free from that, I can be in that environment and I can still have my own peace and I can watch it go by.
Yeah.
And I just made sure I did the silent prayer morning, night, and every afternoon to keep my own sanity. And it's like you love these people and you're trying to love them with real love, but yet you see full craziness because I get to come back over here and I get to be in our home that we've worked hard to
You're
create.
working on, yeah.
And then you go over there and you just see all this mess, but yet you love these people because they're your family and, but like seeing the different dynamics was really interesting. But like being around my sister and seeing how I've never seen somebody, and this is only as of recent, since she's been in a mess, the amount that she complains, it literally drove me nuts.
Yeah.
Because I was like, everything was negative. I was like, you don't realize how good you've got it. Do you know what I mean? And all the blessings that you have and all the things that you have, but everything was a complaint. And I was like, I love you, but like I gotta go.
Yeah, you don't want to hear too much from a complaining person. Because a complaining person is an evil person.
Yeah.
And that spirit would take over you.
Yeah,
Take you
I
over.
felt it. I was like, I gotta remove myself and like I love you, but
Yeah.
and I said to her a couple of times, like, do you realize like this, and this? And I was like, you have it really good. You're so fortunate to have what you have. But
But she's not, in her inner world, she doesn't have it real good.
True.
Because you can have all the material things in the whole wide world. You can have a perfect looking family and still be in misery.
Very true.
So she's still in misery. And it doesn't matter what she has. It's not making her happy.
Yeah.
Meaning it's not bringing peace.
Yeah.
So it doesn't matter.
Yeah. And then I think lastly, me and Anthony as well, I think have just...
Anthony and I.
Sorry, Anthony. Okay, correct me on the ground. Yeah,
Thank
that's
you,
fine.
Hey. My white teacher taught me that.
Yes, you're right. Anthony and I have kind of just had to let...
You got a black husband, now you sounding black.
I know, it's terrible. Shame on me.
That's why you got to have a fro. Well, go ahead.
Lastly, I think that we've had to, I've had to, like, it's like every time you go through something, I'm learning more about myself and where I could be better and watching myself in the process of going through whatever, but letting him go. Because I was looking at him like, you're crazy. Like, why do you not see that how you're behaving has kind of in a somewhat affected XYZ, but he's such a beta. I'm like, I just don't understand. So now I don't put my energy into going back and forth with him because he's got to sit in his hell as well.
Right, he can't, just as she can't see,
Yeah, he can't see.
He can't see. And all angry people cannot see, and they're miserable. So he doesn't know either. He's lost as well.
Yeah.
That's why he can't help her, because he's lost.
Yeah. And we gave him, like, we spent time, and we spent a lot of time on the phone with him initially, and we gave him a lot of your ministry so that he could give him the opportunity to wake up and to see and understand. But he's so deep in it.
Yeah.
He's
not ready yet.
He's not leady. So we was like, okay.
So leave people in
Leave
their
him be.
hell until they're ready to come out.
That's what I've done.
And so just wish them all well. The beauty is, now that you're waking up, your family has always been screwed up like that. You've always had, every human being has a messed up family. Really. There's not one family on this earth that is not screwed up. And so we all have it, but we're like so one with it, we don't see it. We know something's wrong while growing up, but we don't understand the depths of what it is. So now you see what's going on with the family. And now that you overcome it, you're going to be around it when you need to and not be affected by it. And that's the spirit of Christ. Christ was able to go around anybody, no matter who they were and what type of situation they were in. He was able to go around anyone and not be affected by it, and then help those that are in that situation by pointing them out, because he had no judgment of them. And he understood the spirit that was driving them, that it wasn't them. So it caused him to be able to go around anyone. And the preacher was judging him. Oh, how can you be Christ and go hang out with these people? How can you be around the prostitutes and the sluts and the alcoholics and everybody, right? Because he understood, he knew it wasn't them. And if you stay with it, you're going to be able to do the same thing, because the light has to go out into the darkness so that the people in the darkness can see the light, those that are seeking it. So don't judge it, because even at your job, or when you go to the market, or when you go to church or anywhere, somebody in there don't see, and you may be the one that they can see through. And you're supposed to be able to go anywhere. A Christian does not decide where they will or will not go. Well, they go where the light leads them, but they do not decide where they will go, because how do you know who's going to see the light? Christ went all over the place. You know what I mean? So that's the beauty in that. What do you think about that?
No, I agree. I definitely agree. And I think it's really interesting, because every time I go back, it's normally once a year, I'm able to kind of self-reflect on seeing the improvement in watching myself and how I'm dealing with things. How I went last year to how I went this year, I'm seeing the things that I'm overcoming and how things are getting a little easier if I stay consistent with the silent prayer and watching myself.
Absolutely.
So, yeah.
Stay with it, stay with it, stay with it.
Yeah.
All right, but just don't participate in the gossiping about them, the family, the husband or the wife. You wish both of them well, and if they come to you with it, be straight up honest about what's really happening, where they point the way to the Father, and that's all you can do about it.
Okay.
And you'll be fine.
Okay. Thank you.
And again, don't do, well, what if she want to come around my family? That's not happening now. You'll see how to deal with that if it should happen.
Okay.
It'll be perfect.
Okay.
All right?
Thank you.
Amazing. What a trip, huh?
Yeah, that's just a fraction of it. So.
Talk about a vacation.
Yeah. It's been fun.
Amazing. Anyone else? Okay. Anybody here believe that you can save the world? You know, like be a politician, become somebody that's important or anything, be a leader or anything and save the world. Anybody believe you can help the world? You believe you can help the world? And how can you help them?
I do work as a psychologist, so I believe that...
You do what?
I work as a psychologist.
Oh, you do?
I do.
You a psychologist?
I am.
Nice. No wonder you hang out with him.
Well, I'm trying to analyze.
See? But go ahead. And how can you believe you can save the world or help the world?
Help. I
And how
don't
can you
think
help
one
the
person
world?
can save the world, but
I'm sorry?
I don't believe that one person can save the world, but you can help the world.
How?
By helping people.
How?
Like you do here. You do help us. You give us new opinion, new food to think about. And that's what happens in psychology. People come, you talk to them, you give them a new perspective to the things. And you teach them to be more positive and more outgoing. And yeah, I think by that you can help.
Amazing.
Like even here, you're helping the family by giving a new perspective. And that's actually what psychology does as well.
Have you ever helped anyone?
I have. I've had
You say you
13
have?
people. Yes,
You
13
have helped.
people, yes.
And how did you help them?
I did help to finish toxic relationships, to get better in family relationships. And I did help a mother who was single mother to overcome her suicidal thoughts because she had a 2-year-old daughter.
You say you helped her with her suicidal thoughts?
Yeah.
Because she had what?
She had a daughter, 2-year-old daughter, and she had a lot of suicidal
Oh, she was
thoughts.
thinking of suicide,
Yeah.
trying to kill herself, but she had a
Yes.
2-year-old daughter, and you helped her not to commit suicide?
Yes.
And how did you help her?
So I cannot give too much information. However, she was suicidal, and then one day she came and she was like, you know what? I know that I cannot do this to my daughter, so I will kill her first, then I will kill myself.
She would kill her daughter first and then herself? And you
And-
told her that's a good idea?
Well, well, I did help her to come to that realization herself. Yeah.
So she's still living?
Yes,
Oh, she
she is, and now she's dating a very good man, and yeah, who is hopefully she's gonna introduce to her daughter.
Oh, I see. So now she's dating a good man, and hopefully
Yeah,
she
she
can
will
introduce that
introduce
man to her
yeah.
daughter.
Because she had a victim mindset, where
I
she
see.
was thinking that everyone is using her, and she doesn't have like anyone to count on, and
And so now she's counting on this man?
she's counting on herself, in
Oh.
her inner self.
She's counting on herself?
Yes, because she didn't see good in herself. She couldn't appreciate the hard work she's done.
Right.
And being a single mother, it's never easy.
And how old is your daughter?
Now she's 3.5 years old.
Three?
3.5.
Oh, okay. Amazing. Are you able to help yourself?
I'm doing my best, yes.
Are you able to help yourself?
In the best way possible, yes. I think,
Are you able to help yourself?
yes.
Are you able to help yourself?
I think so, yes.
I'm sorry?
Yes.
Speak up a little louder.
Yes, yes.
And how are you able to help yourself?
Oh, how? Well, I do help myself by always reflecting. I do reflect a lot on myself. I've been working last 4.5 years. I didn't work before that. And I've been investing into my career, myself, my future, and which has given me a lot of strengths. And as a human, I believe that it has given me, in Russian we say стержень. It means something that you can count on, and some like a foundation.
Where are you from?
Russia.
You from Russia?
Yeah.
You from Russia?
Yeah.
Hi, Putin. Tell Putin I said hello. So you're from Russia.
Yes.
So let me ask. So you live over there or here?
New York.
Oh, you're living in New York
Yeah.
now. Oh, okay. Do you have anger?
I used to have.
Do you have anger?
No, I don't have.
You never get angry.
I do get angry, but I know how to stop myself from that feeling.
So you do get angry.
Yes.
But you said you had no anger.
I had anger issues, I said.
I know, but so you do get angry, right?
I do.
And so you get angry because you have anger, right?
I do.
I'm sorry?
Yes.
And why don't you let anger go? Because you don't have peace. Do you have perfect peace?
I do have peace, yes.
Do you have
I
perfect
do.
peace?
Yes.
I'm sorry?
Yes, I do.
Can you have perfect peace and anger?
But I don't get angry as of now. But sometimes if, of course, a situation happens that it does make me angry,
Right.
I do stop myself from getting, like, I see that, okay, the feeling is irritating me. It's starting to go there.
Right.
So I do something to stop it.
Do you know that anger is evil and anyone that has anger is evil?
I can believe in that, yes.
So why not overcome the spirit of anger? Why not let it go so you can never get angry in any situation?
So how do you think I could do that?
Good question. Your friend want to answer. If you find out how to do it, will you do it? If you were able to do it, would you do it? I can't hear you.
Yes.
Okay. Are you surprised your friend has not told you how to overcome anger?
Because he hasn't seen me angry.
Oh, that's why.
And
oh,
I haven't been angry.
I understand. Tell her, why have you, you haven't seen her. Tell her how to overcome anger. Just so you guys having lunch and the waiter come by and the waiter didn't bring the coffee.
Yeah.
She's like, you didn't bring the coffee. Tell her how to overcome the spirit of anger.
You overcome it by watching it and doing nothing about it. By letting it be in your body, watching the feelings of anger, the thoughts and feelings, and giving it to the light, doing nothing about it at all.
Right. And what else?
That's all I know how to do is watch it, observe it, not identify with it, not know it's not me.
But there's something she got to do prior to that, or right after she realized that anger is wrong.
Forgive?
Yeah.
Yeah, forgive
You
him.
forgot that part?
I've never, I don't try. Yeah, you have
Pretend
to.
you're having lunch right now and nobody's around.
Okay, yeah,
You got to forgive your mother.
yep.
What do you think about that?
Well, there is nothing to forgive her about. I
Yeah.
do love her. We have an amazing relationship.
If there's nothing to forgive her for, why did you become just like her?
I think my anger issue comes from my dad.
But why
More
did you
than from
become
her.
just like your mother?
I didn't.
You didn't become like your mother? You're not like your mother?
In some aspects, maybe.
And how did that happen?
Well, she's my mother, of course. I will have a traits of her.
One trait that you have that she has is she has anger issues as well. She get angry at times. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, I do.
And so you got that from her. Do you like having that from her, getting that from her?
No.
And why haven't you forgiven her for that? Recreating you in her image by giving you the anger spirit.
But then, if I forgive her, and as you say that, I have to let the anger be there and just observe it, right?
But first you got to forgive her, admit that you do have this anger, and that it's wrong for you to have it toward her because she couldn't help herself, just as you can't help yourself. Her mother did it to her, and she couldn't help herself. That's why your father didn't like her. Your father couldn't deal with her because she was, if I was on radio, I'd use a different word, but something in church, I won't use it. She was difficult to deal with. And so your father didn't like her. It was like he married his mother. And so when you see that you're wrong for resenting her, you go and forgive her, then the Spirit of God will take it away from you. All you need, as you said, you need to see it, and it'll be taken away. But you got to apologize to your mother for resenting her.
But I don't think I have resented her.
But then why do you think you get irritated with her at times?
Not with her.
You never get irritated at your mother?
Almost never.
Do you ever get irritated at your mother?
Maybe in the last 5 years once.
Do you ever get irritated with your mother?
Yes, once. I did have.
That's why, because you have her spirit. You become like what you hate. What do you think about that?
I'm thinking where to apply this knowledge.
And you haven't gotten angry with her because you moved all the way to New York from Russia. Right?
No.
You don't have to deal with her. And when she calls on the phone, you don't have to answer.
I do answer.
I'm sorry?
I do answer.
I said you don't have to if you didn't want to.
No, but
Right? But you got to forgive your mother. Why are you angry at your father?
because, I look around and I see girls who have fathers and they have a male figure that they can count on all their lives. And I feel that I've been robbed of it by my father.
You what?
I have been robbed of it.
Speak
by
up a little louder for me. You know how you yell at your boyfriends?
I
Yell at
have
me.
I have been robbed of this feeling by my father.
Oh,
This is
and
what I
have you
feel.
told him that?
I have, yes,
You asked him why he wasn't there for you?
because of alcohol.
What?
He was an alcoholic.
Did you ask him why wasn't he there for you?
I did.
And what did he say?
That he was stupid and he was wrong.
And did you forgive him?
I did. And then he did something worse.
First of all, let's deal with it first. You told your father, okay, I understand. I'm sorry for resenting you.
Yes.
Right.
And we
and he-
cried, we hugged, we were like, let's keep it there in the past. Let's move to the future together. And he did something worse after, which I would not want to share. But
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
And did you forgive him for that?
no, I'm struggling to forgive him for that.
You what?
I'm struggling to forgive him for this.
Why? Why are you struggling with forgiveness?
I think a person has as much forgiveness to give, and he used like all of it. And
He used it all up?
yeah,
He used up all your forgiveness? What?
I don't want to.
You ran out of forgiveness?
Yes.
What the? So you ran out of forgiveness.
For him.
Does God run out of forgiveness for you?
I don't know. I guess we have to ask a God.
Do you think he does?
Well, I do believe that he does.
You think God ran out of
Oh,
forgiveness?
no.
So why don't you treat your father the way God treat you?
Maybe I still have a lot of issues to solve. This is why.
I'm sorry?
I mean, because of a lot of issues I have unresolved.
That you have?
Yeah.
It is. You don't have love, you only have hate. You're just like your mother. You don't have love for anyone. Do you want to come up here?
No.
I can hear you better up here.
She doesn't want to be on TV.
Oh. No, I'm just playing with her. Don't beat me up.
See you after.
That's right. You don't have love because you can't love one person and hate the other person.
Well, I don't hate him.
But if you don't have love for him, you do have hate.
I
Anger
care
is
about
hate.
him. I care about him, but after what he has done, I refuse to forgive the person and give another chance.
Did he do something to you?
And to our family,
He did it to the family,
yes.
but not to you.
Well, it does include me as well.
But he didn't do it to you.
He did it to us, me, my mom, and my sister, all of us together.
But I don't care what
So
it is.
basically, I bought my mom a house, and he came after the house. When he found it out that it's a very expensive house, he wanted to get a half of it. He came, and it was a mess.
He came to the house.
I know he went to the court to get the.
Oh, he took the house.
Yeah,
I
to
see.
get the house.
So you mad at your father for taking the house?
No, he didn't take it. I'm mad that he took us to the court to get a piece of the house that I bought.
That you bought.
Yes.
And why are you mad about that?
As I told you, as a daughter, you want your dad to be there for you.
Were you a little kid when that happened?
I know it happened 2 years ago.
Oh, okay. That's not a reason to be angry.
But that's the reason not to talk to him, not to accept him.
Well, you don't have to talk to him if you don't want to, but you cannot be angry at him. There's never, ever, ever, but never, ever a reason to be angry. Because anyone that's angry is evil. And you have no love.
I feel like it is more sadness and disappointment at this point than even anger.
But even if you didn't have the anger, you wouldn't have the sadness or disappointment. Now, you wouldn't agree with the situation, whatever the situation is, right? You would not agree with it, but you wouldn't feel anything about it. You will understand.
So how can I understand this?
Forgive your father and your mother. They have screwed you up. They both let you down. You got to forgive them. They couldn't help themselves. I'm sorry for resenting you guys because the way you feel about your father is the way your mother feels about him. You have your mother's feeling and identity about your father. You don't have your own.
But he did that to me personally.
Because you treated him the way your mother treated him.
I didn't,
You hated him.
but I forgave him last time.
Yeah, one time, and then you took the house and you went back to being angry. You have not forgiven him. You even ran out of forgiveness.
Right now, yes.
You have not forgiven.
I did to that point before he took us to court.
Right, but now you still have to forgive him. Otherwise, you're never going to be free, and you won't be able to help your patients in the right way. Your patients are angry too. They're going through family issues, relationship issues, and if you don't forgive, you're not going to see how to show them how to overcome the spirit of anger. That woman that you mentioned that wanted to kill herself or whatever, and the reason she wanted to do that, because she's evil. She's angry. And she can find no peace. And you're not going to be able to help her until you can see it for yourself. What do you think about that?
I'm thinking about how to process this information.
Oh, okay. Because the relationship that she's in now, it's not going to last. It's not based on love. It's not based on anything good. So that relationship with the guy is not going to last, and she's going to be right back into her craziness. She never left it. Because she has anger. Anyone that has anger is lonely, fearful. They have fear, doubt, insecurity. They're looking for love. They're weak. They feel they compare themselves to other people. They try to get material things, thinking that those things are going to make them feel better. It doesn't. They try to get degrees. They get a bunch of degrees, and they're still lost. Because the problem is a spiritual problem inside.
But don't you think that anger is an emotion and that every person can have it, but not necessarily they should react to it?
Right. Anger is an emotion, and you're right, every human being has it, except for those who are working on themselves to overcome it, and it's evil. You overcome the anger, you overcome the emotions.
So if I see in myself anger and I stop and I don't react to it, do I overcome it?
Yes. As a matter of fact, that's the only way you can overcome it. You got to admit that you have it, you got to see it. And don't blame anyone. Just see it.
Yeah.
But as a kid, you blame your parents because they should have been perfect, and they were not. And they passed it on to you as a kid, right? But as an adult, you're responsible to overcome it. So once you see it and do nothing about it, it'll be taken away from you, and you'll be free.
Thank you.
That makes sense?
It does.
Amazing, huh? Now will you tell Putin I said hello? Any disagreement about any of that?
I think we were saying exactly the same things, but little different. But the main point is the same, that when there is anger, you should not react. And the power comes from the point where you stop yourself from reacting to that. And
Well,
you
you're not
don't
supposed-
let
don't
it
even- you can't
consume
stop-
you.
You can't stop yourself. You just have to see it.
Yeah.
You see that spirit is there in your mind and emotions, and do nothing about it. Don't try to stop it. Don't fight with it. Don't do anything, but watch it. And the spirit of the Father, the light of God will take it away from you.
Okay. Thank you.
Are you going to work on your anger?
I will.
Will you forgive your mother?
I have forgiven. Yes.
Will you tell her?
She knows. She
Okay.
does. She does know it. She knows.
Oh, so you told her you were sorry for resenting her?
We have had like very deep conversations in last few years. Yes.
And have you said to her, I'm sorry for resenting you, for being angry at you, you can't help it?
And I've never resented her, but I've said I'm sorry for the things I didn't understand.
For what?
For the things that I didn't understand, I've said that I'm sorry.
Well, apologize to her for that anger you have came from your mother. It did not come from your father. You see your father the way your mother see him, and you've been treating him the way your mother treat him. And just as he could not handle the anger in your mother, he couldn't handle it in you either, because it's like dealing with the same people. You had no patience or love for your father, so you treated him the same way. You need to kick your mother out of the house. Will you throw her out?
No,
Why not?
because it's her house. I voted for her.
But buy one for your father then.
For a father that
Your father. Buy your house for your father. Do you love your father less than you love your mother?
sure,
What?
sure. Yes.
You do?
Yeah.
Wow. Does God love you less than he loved me?
But I'm not God.
What?
But I'm not God.
What does that mean?
Which means that I'm human and I do have feelings, and I mean, I don't want anything bad for my father. I wish him all the best, but
So you don't have the Spirit of God working through you?
I believe in energy, that the world is energy and that the God is energy, and of course, He's through everyone.
So do you have the Spirit of God working through you?
Of course.
But that Spirit don't love your father the same as your mother?
I didn't think of this that way.
What?
I didn't think of this that way.
Uh-huh. Think about it. If you don't love all the same, you love none. No matter how cruel they are or whatever, you gotta love them all the same. They're no different.
Well, I can love him, but from far away.
Just like you're doing with the mother, yes.
No, I'm very close with my mom. I see her like 5 times a year.
Wow. You really hate her. Why you have to see her so much?
Just because she comes over often.
Over here?
Yeah.
Next time, bring her here.
Okay.
All right? We'll work on her. Wow, 5 times a year. You got to overcome your mother. Your mother is controlling you. You will not make for a good wife and a mother, because she will destroy your marriage. She will be jealous of your husband. She will tell you how to raise your kids, how you should do this. You will hate her, and she will want to move in and destroy your marriage, because she will be jealous.
I would have agreed 2 years ago.
What?
I would have agreed with you a few years ago, but as of now, like, she's a different person. She's not controlling. She's very loving, understanding, and
Okay, we can test that.
yeah.
All right?
Okay.
How many times have you seen her already this year?
4 times.
4 times?
Yeah.
How many more months in a year?
She came in January, February, and I saw her in March and
Okay,
May.
tell her she can't come back anymore this year. Tell her that she cannot come back until next summer. All right? I can't hear you.
Yes.
Okay. So don't let her back until, this is what? This is August. Don't let her back until July. We have a deal?
And what do I tell her?
That she can't come back until next summer. You're tired of seeing her every year. You don't need to see her 5 times a year.
Okay.
Can you tell her that?
Yeah,
All
I
right.
can tell.
God is listening. The energy, the spirit, and listening. So no more mama until July.
Yes.
Excuse me. So what now? No more mama until July?
Yes.
All right. And don't call her except maybe once a month. A deal?
I can do that, but why?
So you can grow up and not need mama anymore. And so mama can stop controlling you. Then you will make for a good wife and a good mother.
How do you think she's controlling me now?
By imposing herself on you. She have to come 5 times a year. She have to talk to you every day. She need to know this and know that. She's controlling you. You're not in control of your life. And you're not happy about it. You're a grown woman. You don't need to report in to mama.
Well, I think we have more like a friendship relationship than mother-daughter.
No, it's not a friendship. It's a control. But now that you're going to test it, you're going to see it's not a friendship.
Okay.
So no call once a month. Don't see her until July of next year. All right?
Okay.
All right. Remind me if she doesn't do it. Let me know.
Oh, I'm going to tell you. Trust me.
All right.
I'll be monitoring.
Any other question? Yes, sir. Hold on 1 minute.
Where do you get all your advice from?
Does it make sense what I'm saying?
Kinda, yeah.
It kind of makes sense? And where are you getting that from that make it make sense? Why does it make sense to you?
My mom sometimes says stuff. And
I want you to know the reason it makes sense to you, even when your mother says it, is God is inside of you, and He is telling you the same thing He's telling me. Really, if you follow that the rest of your life, common sense, listen to the voice on the inside, it's going to be amazing. And so He's telling you, and that's why it makes a little sense. So I want you to trust that voice on the inside, not in your head. And drop anger. Never be angry. All right? Does your mother tell you that?
No, but I try not to be angry a lot.
You try not to be angry a lot? Are you angry sometimes?
Yeah, sometimes.
And can you give me an example of what made you angry sometime, if you can?
When my brother steals my stuff.
Yeah. What a thief. That should make you angry.
Sometimes.
Look at him, he's looking all innocent.
But I try to control my temper a lot.
How did you become angry? How old are you?
13.
You're too young to be angry. How did you become angry?
Well, it's not constant anger. It's just sometimes
Right.
some things that make me angry.
And how did you get to the point where sometimes you get angry?
Repetitive.
And how did you
stuff.
become repetitive?
When things happen to me repetitively.
Oh, okay. Do you want to overcome anger where you never get angry no matter what happens?
Yeah.
What people say or whatever they do to you, you would never get angry? Do you want to live that way? I'm surprised your mother haven't told you this since you listened to the show. Has your mother ever told you that she was wrong for being impatient with you? Or yelling at you? I'm sorry?
Yeah.
She said, what did she say?
She shouldn't have yelled at me when I was younger. Because she did.
What?
She did,
Yeah.
but she doesn't anymore.
And did you forgive her? And what does your father say when you ask him to help deal with your mother? Hey, Dad, help me deal with her. She's too much. What does he say?
It varies sometimes.
Sometimes he helped you with her? What?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Here's what I want you to do so you overcome anger and you never be angry again. Make sure you forgive your mother.
Okay.
She can't help herself. And any man, any male that has anger is a woman. So anytime you get angry, you're acting like a girl. Because it's unnatural for men, for boys to get angry. They only become that way because they become angry at their mothers, because mothers are impatient. She yell at you, she tell you, get up and do it now, and blah, 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 right? And it makes you angry as a kid. And the moment you become angry, you become like your mother. You start to think and feel like a woman, emotional. But if you never got angry at her, you would never feel that way or think that way. So you got to forgive her. Speak up, but don't get angry. That way you won't be a girl.
Okay.
You don't want to be a girl, right? I'm sorry?
No.
You don't want to act like a girl, right?
No.
Well, you got to forgive your mother.
Okay.
And then if you don't, you're going to grow up and every girlfriend you get is going to be just like mama. And you won't be able to handle it. And then you become afraid of your mother in the same way your father's afraid of your mother.
Oh.
I mean, you become afraid of your wife. So drop the anger. Let it pass. Speak up, but don't be angry.
Okay.
That makes sense?
Yeah.
Do you disagree with that?
No.
Good. So remember, next time you get angry, you're acting like a girl.
Okay.
Do you have anger too?
I guess.
You're not sure?
Yeah, I don't know.
What?
I don't know.
Oh, okay, I understand. You will, but don't be mad. When you get mad, let it pass. Don't go with it, all right? And do you take your brother's stuff? Oh, Jay, you said I should do it like this?
Yes, don't cough into the mic.
The mic is here.
Right.
So I should do this.
You're right. Cover or remove.
Not only does he teach me English, he teaches me not to cough in the mic. Amazing. You white. You take your brother's stuff?
Sometimes.
Nice. That's what little brothers are supposed to do. All right?
Yeah.
Let me talk to your mother for a quick minute. Do you have any questions or comment about any of this?
No, I appreciate what you're telling them.
Yeah.
And the reason why I haven't said too much to them is because I want to give my oldest advice little by little and not impose too much.
Yeah.
Or him just hear my voice when good advice comes.
Right
I want him
on.
to discover things on his own.
Are you with the father and stuff? You
Yes.
Guys? Oh, okay. Since he's this age, why not send him to the father now?
Because I feel like I'm imposing. I feel like I'm imposing him onto his father.
Oh, if he should have a question, if you say go and talk to your father about it, you feel like that's imposing?
Yeah.
That's not imposing though.
Okay.
He's going to respect that order, how you love the father enough to tell him and talk to his father. He's over 3 years old now, so
Yeah.
I would recommend that. Now, that doesn't mean you don't answer some questions sometime. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
But it's best to send him so he can grow up close to his father, and he'll be fine then.
Yes.
So refer to father. Are you over your anger now?
No.
You still have it?
Yes.
And why don't you drop it?
I don't think that I'm able to myself.
You're not able to?
Yes.
Are you doing the silent prayer?
No.
Oh, have you forgiven your mother and father?
Yes.
Oh, you have done that. Why aren't you doing this? Why you're not doing the silent prayer?
Because I make excuses not to. I think too much.
Oh, you know that you're worshiping the devil when you're making excuses, right?
Yes.
And you love that?
Apparently.
Oh, okay. Well, just suffer then. What the? I want you to start doing the silent prayer too. If anybody needs it, you need it. Now, he'll give you the paper on it. And make sure you start doing it.
Yes.
You got another baby.
Yes.
You really need it.
I do.
Is it a boy or girl?
Boy.
Wow, you really need it. So do the silent prayer.
Yes.
All right?
I will.
Okay. Any questions? Okay. You cannot save the world. I want you to know that. You can become a politician, a preacher, a prophet, the richest man or woman in the world, or the poor man or woman in the world. You can't save the world. So stop trying. I counseled with a couple of people this week. And they're like, well, what should I do if I work on me? I got to save the world. How would I be able to help the world? I'm like, you can't help the world. Work on you. Forget about the world. Work on you. Forget about your family. You're not responsible for your family. You're responsible for your children. That's it. But you can't save anyone. So stop trying to save the world. You can't save the world. The world is in misery right now. Really. And it's only going to get worse because it's in the people. It's not in the earth itself. You could be having a good time right here on earth. You can have a perfect life right here on earth, but the people around you are miserable because they're angry and they're unwilling to give it up and they love their misery. There are some people who don't want to be that way. They're working on it. Some of you here are working on it. But most people don't want to overcome their misery. You better stay out of their way. They will destroy you. Your own mama will build an army against you if you told her the truth. If you stood up to your mother, she would go and tell the whole family, oh, he said he hate me. He's saying, as much as I've done, I did this and I did that, and get everyone to agree with her, and then they'll call you up and call you the enemy. How can you treat mama that way? Your mama is so good. Mama built an army against you because mama has no love. Your friends don't have love. Husbands and wife do not love one another. The relationship is not built on love. It's built on emotions. It's built on thoughts. It is not built on love. That's why they fight. They fight because if they don't get that emotion, they start to feel the emptiness inside. They feel like something is wrong. And all they have done is cover up that feeling with fake love. And that's why they fight. They are cruel to one another. I got to ask the biblical question. Do you know what the biblical question is? Where's Mimi? She's still working on Sundays?
She's moving.
Where?
To, where's she? Atlanta.
Really?
Yes.
Amazing. I know
Yes.
last time she told me she had to start working on Sundays or something.
Yeah, she has, but now she's preparing for her relocation.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
She moved to where?
Atlanta.
Atlanta's worse than here.
I haven't been.
Mimi, no. Atlanta is worse than here now.
I've heard.
No, it is. I have
Really?
family members down there.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Yeah, I haven't been. I plan to
She
visit
might
her.
well stay in
but-
California.
Yeah.
So
It's bad all over, right?
Yeah, and most.
Except like Texas and
No, it's
Florida.
bad in Texas.
The
It's
conservative.
bad in Texas. Evil is evil. You can't run from evil. You have to overcome evil. Running to Florida, running to wherever, it's not going to solve the problem. It's still wherever you go, evil is there. And I mentioned you can't save the world. Even with a president, the president can't save the country. The only thing he can do is make it a little more comfortable for you. Make sure you get, jobs are available, opportunities are available, prices are low, taxes are low. But the president can't save the country. You are the country. You are your own world. You have to save it within yourself. You save yourself, you can be free. perfect peace right here on earth. Do you know what the biblical question is?
I know, well, I have been on vacation.
Oh.
However, I did hear a bit of it, and it's the deepest question I've heard since I've been here. And I know the gist of it is, do
I thought about
feel-
you over the week,
You did?
and I thought about how spoiled you are. I'm like, her husband has spoiled her. Am I wrong?
Negative. No, you're not.
No, you spoiled.
Oh my gosh. Oh my goodness.
Tell your husband I noticed that.
Wow.
But anyway, do you know what the biblical question is?
So I know the gist. It's something to the effect of, do you feel like there are repercussions when you do something wrong? Something like that. Like I thought long and hard about this question. Like it was really deep.
Do you suffer the consequences of your actions?
Right.
Do you suffer the consequences? This is such a good question.
It really
Do you
is.
suffer the consequences of your actions? Let me see the hands of the people who suffer the consequences of their actions. Let me see the hands of those who don't suffer the consequences of their actions. Wow. Did you raise your hand? Do you suffer or you don't suffer? I'm sorry?
Can I answer the question?
Yeah, I'm going to come back to you.
I mean,
I just want to ask him
seriously.
that. You didn't raise your hand either way.
No,
Why
I
not?
don't. This one I need to think about some more. I don't know.
Okay. All right. Okay. Yes, now you can answer. So first, do you suffer the consequences of your action?
Okay, so I know the bond answer. I do. And it is
There ain't
that.
no bond answer. What's the bond answer? Go ahead.
I don't, because I'm not who I am. Like the not me, like it isn't me who's suffering. That feeling is not me. And I know this to be true. I know this to be true. However, I am having such difficulty separating myself from that other me. And another thing I wanted to say about this is that I struggle with, I don't know if struggle is the word, but I do ponder how is it that someone could do something that they know is quote unquote wrong and not deal with the repercussions of that. Like I've heard you say, there is no sin, God isn't judging you, but I have a difficult time with that. And because of my difficulty, wrapping my brain around that, I feel like I do suffer the consequences because I'm attracting that, because I feel like that is my belief system, yet I know that that's because I've been indoctrinated to believe that. So I do understand that it's the not me and the me and the not me, but it's such a complex principle for me to, like there are times when I see that, like for example, and I'm gonna give a quick example. I was on vacation. We took different vacations this year, and some were with family, some were with friends. And I found myself in circles where I was caught off guard because my immediate circle knows that I'm here. They know that I'm working on myself. And so we're able to kind of talk about it in a way. But I found myself in the midst of people who don't know that. And I found myself getting angry, but not expressing it. So I watched myself like a hawk, and I felt, even though I didn't express the anger, I still feel it. And there's a very specific feeling. I feel hot, and then I feel like the heat is just rising up. And then once it gets to my mouth, I say something. And it may not be an angry thing, but it is definitely, I'm confronting the situation. Well, this time I didn't do any of that. I just let the heat come up. I kept my mouth shut. And what I realized is that it passed. It was as if, like when I reflected back on it, I'm like, wow, that was so stupid. That would have opened up this big can of worms for no good reason. So I say all of that to say there are times when I know that it isn't me. Like in that moment, I saw that it was the not me. I literally saw that. But then there are times where I struggle to separate the me from the not me. Like where this question is regarded, I do feel like if I do something wrong, I feel like there's a consequence for it. I feel like there's this reaping and sowing sort of concept that I've bought into, and I'm having trouble discarding that and putting it to rest. So,
okay.
Anyway.
And so to be clear, do you suffer the consequences of, or not?
I don't think I do. I don't, so yes, in answer to your question, I don't suffer the consequences. I know this to be true. However, I'm having trouble separating myself from the not me, so I think that I do suffer the consequences.
Oh, okay.
But I know I don't suffer the consequences.
Amazing.
If that makes sense. Does it make sense to you a little? No? What? Oh my gosh. I did all that talking in circles for nothing?
I didn't say it didn't make sense.
Okay.
What are you reacting to?
You're just, okay, that's, all thoughts are all lies all the time. Okay.
Amazing. I'll come back to you though. I want to
Okay.
hear from a few more about this. Do you suffer the consequences? Did you raise your hand?
I raised my hand for not suffering, but I don't.
You do not suffer the consequences of your actions?
No.
And why you say you don't?
Well, for the majority of my life, up until the last couple of years, up until when I started doing the silent prayer, I would pray and I would talk to God. I thought that I was talking to God. Everything, I now know everything breaks down to the thoughts. So I thought that I was talking to God. And this is a good question. It's a really deep question. So I remember praying one time about making a decision to do something, and I specifically really thought that I was talking to God, and I heard back, well, you can do what you want, but just know you'll have to suffer consequences and side effects. And now, looking back on that, I know that that was Satan. I know that I was in my imagination. I know that that was thoughts. So thinking about this biblical question and looking back on that, I'm like, it's just all thoughts. So, and like Danielle said too, I know that it's not me suffering. The thoughts are not me. Even the thought of thinking that I would suffer consequences is just another thought. So for me, it just all breaks down to thoughts. And going back to seeing like where I am now doing the silent prayer and knowing that God doesn't talk to you in a voice, and remember specifically hearing a voice telling me, oh, do what you want, just know you'll have to suffer consequences and side effects.
Amazing. Okay. I saw this hand here. You had your hand for you don't, or you do?
I don't, no.
You do not suffer
No.
the consequences of your actions.
Correct.
And why do you say you don't?
Because I'm observing the one who's suffering. I am not the one who's suffering. I'm the one watching the one who's suffering.
Meaning what?
I don't know how to explain it any clearer than that.
Oh,
I am
okay.
observing. Awareness is observing the one that's suffering.
Okay.
The pain, the emotions, thoughts. Awareness is watching that.
Okay.
And
Interesting.
Yep.
You had your hand? Did you say you do suffer the consequences of your action, or you don't?
I do.
And why do you say you do?
Like every time I do something bad, my parents always find out. I get in trouble.
That's a good example.
No dessert. Oh, that sucks.
And so why do you still do things that causes consequences?
I don't know.
Okay. I'll tell you in a minute. Amazing. So how do you feel about your father? Are you over being angry at your father?
Yes, I feel like I'm over being angry at my father. I now know he is my father, And
Oh, you know for sure now?
Yes, I do.
Oh, you did the DNA test work?
Yes, we did a second DNA test, yes.
You did a 2 DNA tests?
That's
Why you
correct.
didn't believe the first one?
Because there's somebody on there, we don't know who it is. There's a mystery relative now. If we believe the first one, there's somebody else now.
Somebody else was in your DNA?
Yes.
That doesn't make sense.
Well,
Are you an Indian?
no, Mexican.
Okay. So you're not angry at him anymore?
No, I after just listening to you today, I was angry. I was angry till the moment that I wasn't sure if he was my father or not. And then once I knew for sure, I realized that it was something that I was holding on to, this like idea and hope that, oh, well, maybe I don't have to forgive, or maybe it won't have to happen. But I understand that I'm the one doing all this to myself.
Yeah.
So to answer your question, I do suffer the consequences of my actions because I still live in myself, because I still live with my ego, and so I'm still suffering.
Amazing.
So I do know that. It's clear, and the effect is real to me.
So now you're gonna let go and just be.
No, I'm a let it go and let it be. I mean, after
Nice.
listening to unlimited forgiveness from God, there is no reason for me to be holding on to anything.
Right on. Well, the one thing I want you to know, when you get that age, and my age, it's best you let it go, because my age, they don't care that you're mad or not. You're wasting time. They don't care.
Oh, I get it.
Who cares, you know? Okay. So your dad did not miss an ounce of sleep.
He did not think about
He
it at all.
heard Junior is mad. Oh, okay, good for Junior. Good night. All right, well, good, man. I'm glad it worked out. All right?
Yes, yes.
Okay. Right here. Do you suffer the consequences of your actions?
Yes, sometimes.
And give me an example why you say yes.
These are always so hard because, I mean, the practical side would be, let's just say I make a mistake at work, and then there's a result from that mistake that could cause me to either get fired or put me in a lower status. So that would be suffering, right? If you get fired or if there's a consequence.
Okay.
But I feel like you're asking something much deeper than that. That's why these are so hard.
Okay. That it?
Yes, unless you want to
Okay.
add something.
I want to talk to 2 other people about it, and then I want to move on. Francisco, I saw your hand. Did you say you do suffer the consequence, or you don't?
I do.
And why do you say you do?
So when I make plans or I make a financial decision and it goes against me, then I have to pay the bill, or I have to pay for it, or a relationship. Sometimes in a relationship, I'll make an emotional decision, and it goes against me, and so I have to suffer. I have to pay for it. Can't cry like a baby.
Oh, okay. Amazing. Thank you. This young lady right here. Let me hear from another young person. Do you suffer the consequences of your actions?
I would say yes.
And why do you say yes?
I know the Bond answer.
Oh, come sit over here. Next to the Bond class.
Right. But I don't know, like I visited my mom in Maryland within the last week, and I had the option to get upset because she was trying to control me in little
Speak up
ways.
a little bit.
Sorry. She was trying to control me in little ways.
Yeah.
And I had the option to get upset, but I made the decision to just sit in that pain and stand up for myself without being angry. But it was hard. So I don't know if I really did end up overreacting and being angry back towards her, because she was angry through controlling me. I don't know if that consequence wouldn't have been my fault.
Had you...
Had I been angry back towards her.
You don't know if that would have been your fault had you gotten angry?
Right, and then that also goes back to, is it really me? Do I have free will? You know, am I making that conscious decision to make the decision to be angry, you know?
Right.
So it's like, I have to understand that it's not me first. And so, yeah, this is a really deep question.
Oh, okay. Amazing. Right here, and then right here. Then I'm done with. I work on it. In the black shirt. Oh.
Morning.
Good morning. Do you suffer the consequences of your actions?
I think yes, because when you get angry, you don't know what you're doing, and when you snap out of it, you realize you were just angry and it wasn't good for you, you know. And that's why I think it's the consequence.
Oh, okay.
And that's pretty much it.
All right.
All right.
Right here, and then here.
Good morning.
Good morning. Do you suffer the consequences of your actions?
In this last 10 minutes, I've thought about this.
I'm sorry?
In the last 10 minutes, I've thought about this. I'm saying it's both. It's a real general question, but I would say yes, I do suffer the consequences if I go out in anger, violence, and depression. If I go out to fight the world, then for me, the world lands up in a long old line, ready to fight. Now, if I go out with a great attitude and acts of kindness, the world I suffer good acts back to me and kindness back to me. So in that aspect, yes, directly on those actions. But then for God, I would say maybe sins of the mind or whatnot. I would say no. Some of the anger, whatever's going through my mind, or anger, hate, or depression, I don't suffer the consequences of those. The Lord looks at those and does not judge me on those. I would maybe judge, but so I'd say it's both. Sometimes I do, sometimes I don't.
So give me a clearer answer. Yes or no. Do you suffer the consequences of your action?
Yes and no. Sometimes yes and sometimes no.
Oh, okay.
And absolutely, like sometimes I absolutely do, and sometimes I absolutely don't.
Okay. Amazing.
Yeah.
So one other person I got to respond to. Oh, no, two. Hake is next. I can't wait for y'all to hear Hake. Yes. Do you suffer the consequence of your action?
When I use my emotions and anger and everything to...
But give me a yes or no first.
Yes.
Okay.
When I use anger and emotion, while everybody was giving their answer, I was like thinking, now that I do the silent prayer, now that I let go of anger, I don't. But my life has been tough because I lived on emotion and anger my whole life up until recently, and I suffered a lot. And that was all because I was a beta. So, beta.
And so you're saying no or yes, you do suffer now?
Not anymore.
You don't suffer
No.
for the consequence of your actions?
Not anymore.
Nice. Okay. Last word, Hake.
Yes, I think I do.
And why you say yes?
Because I bring a lot of mess on myself. And like when I'm fighting with a person, where I'm wrong, that's where I'm suffering. And where they're wrong is where they're suffering.
Yeah.
And so I think that's, I get, yeah, anyway. I was going to say, I get that it's not me. But even still, like, in some sense, I definitely do suffer.
Okay.
Yeah.
Amazing. Anchor baby, you suffer the consequence? That's the anchor baby.
Yeah.
You do?
Yeah, it seems like I do. I suffer the consequences of things that don't even happen. Like,
you're in bad shape.
Just like suffering, just that has never happened, will not happen.
Whoa.
In my mind.
What a mess.
Sorry, Jesse.
Okay.
I didn't want to have to answer this one.
Oh, okay.
I'm still a good
I'm still your Bond guy. I'm still a good guy here.
Nice. Yeah, you suffer things you don't do. Let me ask one. So you're not sure, you hear me say there's no you, but you're not sure about that, right?
Oh. No, I know that's true, for sure.
Well, it sounds like you weren't sure that right now when you're explaining the suffering thing.
No, just to make it very clear, I know that there's the me and the not me. However, because I've identified with myself, the not me, for so long, it's just difficult for me to separate the two. But I know that as I continue doing the silent prayer,
Right.
things will unfold naturally where I will, grow on that front. I mean, I'm definitely better off than I was 2 years ago.
All right. Okay. The one thing I want you to know for sure, you're right. There's no such thing as suffering the consequences of your action. No such thing. There is cause and effect. And the only way you have cause and effect is because you're blind and cannot see. So you're in a dark room doing these things that turn out to be wrong because you don't see what you're doing. So that's the cause. You cannot see, so you do stupid stuff, right? You marry the wrong person. You married 3 times thinking that this is it. Oh, this is the one for me. Or you buy 4 homes thinking that you're in a better place, or whatever, right? Because you can't see. And so the cause is you end up marrying the wrong person over and over again or whatever. But if you can see, you would never do those things. There is truly no you. And so if there's no you, how can you suffer the consequences? There's no one there to suffer. You do feel, you have the thoughts about it, and you feel the pain of your stupid stuff. You can't see what you're doing, but you're not your thoughts and you're not your pain. You're not your body. You're none of those things at all. So that is not you. And God is not causing you to suffer for anything. He's not trying to punish you. He's not trying to make you feel good. He's not holding anything against you because you cannot, will not, is not able to do anything wrong. Now, there are people who love their misery. They love hell. They love their conflict. They love inflicting conflict upon others. They love their misery. They love complaining. They love being lonely. They love being victims. Those people have decided that they love hell. They're already in hell, and they have decided they want to stay in hell. So they're worshiping hell, and that misery that they have is the nature of evil. It's the nature of the devil. The devil is their God. So they're suffering evil. So it's not even them, but it's evil in them, right? They've accepted it. And the world will try to make you suffer the consequences of your action. They will try, because the people are evil, they'll try to, oh, look at you, this and that. They'll judge you, they'll try to hurt you. But God does not punish you because there's no one there to punish. There's no one there. And I know some of you are saying it, and that's good. You don't see it clear yet that there's no you. That's why you still fight with it, you wrestle with it. Because you believe it's to be true, but belief is not what you want. You want to know the truth. Belief come and go. It's not real. It's just knowledge. Oh, I believe it's knowledge. But you're supposed to let the knowledge go and live by the spirit of the light of God. You want to know God. And that's why you try to get back home to the Father, because you want to know Him again. But there is no you to suffer consequences. And yes, other people will try to punish you because they're miserable too. So they need to make somebody else be unhappy so they can feel better. But there is literally no you to suffer consequences. And cause and effect only happens because you can't see. If you can see, you wouldn't do the truth. You wouldn't make the wrong decision, because in seeing, all decisions are made for you. Just like in not sin, all decisions are made for you. You're not made. No one made the decision that they want to commit suicide. Something is telling them you need to die. You're just not worth anything. You're not good for anything. You're not like this person or that person. You're not succeeding at anything. Something is telling you that. That's not you. It's not your thoughts. So you don't suffer for anything. God loves us, and He does not make us suffer. Because He knows that there's another spirit in our thoughts, our imagination, that is controlling us, and it's not us. But we've been lied to. We've been made to believe that it is us. That make sense? Any question about that? What do you think about that?
I agree with what you're saying, but I think that I need to see it for myself. So, like, I agree with what you're saying, but sometimes I think that I still do suffer the consequences for my actions.
And why do you think that?
Because I see it.
You see what?
The consequences.
What do it look like?
I don't know. But this is what I'm saying, that like some of it's practical and then some of it isn't. But I also see I do understand what you're saying. So I'm a little confused.
A practical consequence is not suffering. It's just practical. You go into the wrong business, you can always drop that business.
Okay.
Or you have a job and you build the wrong machine, you can always fix that machine. The only way it seems so important to you if you overreact, as this young lady said, if you overreact to it. If you see that you made the wrong machine, oh, that's stupid. And just make the right machine, you'll be fine.
That makes sense. So let me, I don't know, I'm just gonna give you, let me just make something up. So let's just say, to make it like realistic, let's just say in the house I'm having a really bad day for whatever reason, and I shouldn't be having a bad day, but let's just say I am. And let's just say, I don't know, I just while out at Cheyenne, like, and I'm angry at her, well, not angry, but like, let's just say I'm not particularly nice.
Right.
The consequences of me speaking to her that way, she's not going to want to hang out with me. She's not going to want to chill. That affects our relationship, right? Because of the way that I've come at her. Now, I might go back and say, oh, well, I'm sorry for coming at you like that, and she'll forgive me. But the relationship doesn't just, you know what I mean? Like, I've dented it a little bit. I've affected it.
I understand. That's a good
Does that make sense?
Too.
So I see the way that
What you don't know, the person that's arguing at the situation in the house is an evil person. It's not you.
That's what I'm saying. So I understand what you're saying, that it's the not me,
right.
But
and then if she get mad, but she's unwilling to forgive you, she would know with you anyway, so you lost nothing.
True. So hang on then, because this is a good point, right? Because let's just say I treated her really badly and she forgave me. Would she not be within her right to like not want to spend time with me if I've been kind of mean and not very nice?
If she decides, you know what, this lady's too mean, she's overreacting, I don't want to, right, but that's still not a loss. She doesn't want to hang around an evil person, and she shouldn't, but she shouldn't judge you for it. Have no opinion about it, don't hold it against you, because now that she knows how to forgive, she understands and knows that it's not you. She knows that evil is operating through you.
True, but then I would still say that there's consequences for my behavior, for what I decide to do.
But it's not your behavior.
But that's what I'm saying. That's where I get a little bit lost, because I understand what you're saying logically, but like walking it out, I know that me whiling out for an hour or two and doing whatever I'm doing, there's consequences to the not me that's doing that. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah, but what you don't know, the pain that comes as a result of running her off, carrying on all week or whatever, right? The pain you have from it is not your pain.
Exactly.
It's not even you.
Sure.
It's the devil tell you, oh, look, you acted out all week. Now people don't want to be around you. He's lying to you about that. It's like what this young lady was saying, that it's just a thought. He's lying to you about that too. Because it was him and his little demons acting out for the whole day. It was never you.
Sure.
Bless you. I'm sending you back to Europe. Do you understand? It was never you arguing and carrying on.
Yes, I get that.
I understand.
I get that, but I still get a little bit.
You only think that it was you because you have believed the lie that the thoughts and the feelings are yours and that they're you. And it sounds like your voice because the devil can imitate anyone else's, another person's voice, right? But it's just not you. It's totally evil operating through you.
So this is a really good question, and since as we're here, I can ask this question that I've been meaning to ask you for a while. So do you not think, though, that a person can get, myself or somebody else, could get tired of, let's say, for example, like we all have our own hell, right? To make it quick, we all have our own hell.
Yes.
And it's different. Like I could look at somebody else's hell and be like, well, why are you like that? But for that person, it's tremendously difficult, right? So me being in my hell that I'm trying to overcome, do you not think that other people around you that you affect can lose patience in a sense of having to deal with that hell?
You can't lose what you never had. The moment a little child becomes angry, that child loses patience. And they have patience no more. But if they never got angry, they would never be moved by your action, period.
Okay.
What do you think about that?
I don't know.
Do you think the Spirit of God is ever moved by your actions?
Probably not, no.
I'm sorry?
No.
You say you do not know? Or you probably
I don't
know?
think so, no.
Do you think God is ever moved when he see an adult female rape a child?
I don't know, no.
I'm sorry?
I don't know.
Do you think God is ever moved when he see murdering people and stuff like that?
I mean, I don't think he likes it, obviously, but I don't think
You think he dislike it?
Yeah, for sure.
Why do you think he dislike it?
Because, like, he doesn't want to see that. Do you know what I mean? Like,
The anchor may want to respond to that one. Yes, Nick.
Oh, I do?
Hold on to your mic.
No, I didn't raise my hand to respond to that.
What were your hand for? I did see your hand go
Yeah,
up.
you did see my hand. It was a
Okay.
different question.
It was for something else?
But it was about
oh,
this.
Okay. I saw his first then. But, and I understand, you're right, you don't know. But God is not moved by evil. Evil has no influence on God at all. Zero. And likewise, when you return to the Father, evil will have no influence on you, period. Because it has no power, it has no authority, it has nothing.
I get all of that, but I'm
And
not.
the light is not moved by the darkness.
Okay, so I'm not really. I understand what you're saying, but I'm talking about other people. Me affecting other people. And their patience towards me for whatever
Like,
I've
meaning that if you ran into someone that's not working on themselves, or someone that is working on themselves,
somebody that is working on themselves.
and you were impatient, you were acting out, right?
Let's just say I'll while out for a day.
Right. And you're saying their patience will run out for you?
I think so, yeah.
And why, if they have patience, how can it run out?
Because it gets a bit repetitive. Like, it gets a little bit like, come on,
But
like, get over it. Like, you should
I
have
know,
been
but it's
fixed
your
it.
problem. They could get away from it. They could walk away from that attitude, but they wouldn't feel anything about it at all. They would not feel impatience.
Okay.
They would just know this woman is evil. And I'm getting away from evil.
Why can't it just be this woman's working on herself?
But
She's
you
working.
could be a working
She's
evil
overcoming.
person.
What'd you say?
You could be a working evil person, overcoming it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I'm saying like from when you met me like 2 years ago to where I am now is a completely different person.
Yes.
But I am still, I think we're all continuing to work. I'm still working.
You're still working.
For sure.
And when you say we're all, who are you speaking of?
Exactly. That's why I bring it back to myself.
Oh, thank you.
Because I already heard you.
That's right. We got to keep our eyes on ourselves.
Yep.
It's not about the crowd.
Yep.
It feels good when you say, well, we all get angry. So that makes you feel like it's okay to be angry because everybody else is doing it, right? That's not good.
Yeah.
All right. Nice. Did that help?
Uh-huh.
Okay. Yes, sir.
This is only partially related, but it reminded me of a question I wanted to ask you.
Okay.
So a friend of mine, we were talking, and he was asking about God, and he said, and this is a very typical response, I've heard this my whole life. There's even songs written about this subject. He said, if there was a God, then why do the innocent suffer? Why does God let the innocent suffer? And I understand to a degree how to answer that. However, rather than do that, I actually was very curious what your thought on that was.
Innocents don't suffer because there are no innocents.
So even little children and this whole...
They're not innocent.
Okay.
They have been destroyed by their parents, and especially their mothers. So they're not innocent either.
Yeah, but if people would disagree with that immediately if you're talking about some situation that's beyond the parents. Like they're just in a bad circumstance or bad timing and somebody grabs them. How is that the parents' fault? Somebody, or they get killed in a car wreck. These are the things that a lot of atheists or
But
agnostics
why would
come up.
someone put oh, that is so sad, it happened to the innocent. How do they know the heart of the person?
Well, right. It's generally hard to believe for most people that a 5-year-old girl who had some tragedy befall her and some suffering, that she wasn't innocent, that she provoked that.
She was innocent before she was traumatized by the tragedy. And
Right.
when she responded to it, she was no longer innocent.
Well, what if she, in this case, it's like she died young, or that's usually what I hear from people. Like, if there was a God, why would he allow, and we could debate all day, I guess,
But
about
God
what
doesn't
innocent is.
allow that. Evil allows that to happen. Evil causes that. Evil.
So it has nothing to do with God.
Nothing to do
And
with
then
God.
their question would be, well, why does God allow that? Because God could obviously stop that.
Because the child is getting what the parents want. That's what the parents have put out, and the seed is getting it too.
So all the suffering from innocent people is related immediately back to the parents.
100%. Until they overcome it. Now, as an adult, it should no longer be blamed on the parents once you forgive them.
Right.
It's on you.
So it's the parent's fault if a child's killed in an incident outside of the parent's control.
No, if the parents, if they out in the world, they get attacked by evil, the parent is not at fault that the child got
Right.
attacked by evil.
Okay, I just want to clarify that.
Oh, okay.
But essentially, anything bad that befalls the innocent has nothing to do with God. But
Right.
their question is, why doesn't God stop it? I kind of have an idea why, but why
Why do you think he doesn't stop it?
I don't think that's the point of this life. I don't think necessarily that it's the point of our lives to have this perfect, this isn't heaven, right? So
what now? Repeat that. This is a heaven?
this isn't heaven.
Where is heaven?
Where is it? It's
You said
outside of this
isn't
world.
heaven, right?
This is not.
And where is heaven?
Outside of this world.
Where?
I don't know exactly where.
It's in you.
Okay.
Heaven is in you, and it's above. But heaven is, everything is in you. Everything that's in heaven is in you.
So then your answer to those people that would say, if there was a God, because this is the problem they have, they're saying, if there was a God.
If they said that to me, I'd say, that's a dumb question.
Of course, I agree. I couldn't agree more.
I have no answer for a dumb question. Some questions are dumb.
Yeah, that's one of them for sure. But
Yeah. So I wouldn't argue with them. They're
So
in
no-
their mind. They
well, it
have
wasn't an argument.
They have no. When I say argue, I mean I wouldn't waste a lot of time on it.
So you
because
just-
they already have the wrong idea about God.
and this leads back to let them suffer and die.
Absolutely.
Well, okay, I got my answer. Thank you.
Yeah, I know what you mean. I've heard Christians say that too, or non-Christians, atheists. They say the same. Well, if that is God, let children suffer. What kind of God is that? I don't want that kind of God, right? They're blaming God for evil. God knows the hearts of children. He knows who to let back in because they don't really die. They leave the body, but they don't die anyway.
Right.
And he
Well,
knows the heart of the child.
I didn't
and
know.
some kids are not deserving of getting back in heaven because they love evil too.
Right. I didn't know exactly how to answer it, but
Just say it's a dumb question, no answer.
right. That's actually the best way because I racked my head over it because it's almost like a can of worms you're opening up.
Yeah.
And there's so much to explain and there's so little to explain. You could either over-explain it or under-explain it, but at the same point, I realized if they don't understand the certain basic premise here, it's like they don't have the initial...
Because they're not ready to see. That's
Right.
why.
This is kinda
You're
what I'm
being
trying to
asked
say.
by devils about God, and they don't want to know the truth. Remember how when the government took Christ before them, and they asked him, well, what is true? What's that guy's name? Caesar?
Pontius Pilate.
He asked Jesus, well, what is truth? Something like that, right?
Right.
And Jesus didn't answer him because he knew that he wouldn't understand. You don't have to answer people questions just because they ask.
No, fair enough, but I was curious about your answer. And
Right. Just say it's dumb.
That's perfect. I think you're right.
Yeah. Nick had a question, and then I got to finish up with you with that. And I know there are more hands, so I might not be able to get to you, but we'll see. Yes, Nick.
You honestly dealt with it. I'll say it quickly, it might help. You're basically were saying with the conversation earlier that if you drive someone away with your hell, they're judging the wrong thing anyways, and you're focusing on the wrong thing. You got to let go of wanting someone to like you for those reasons.
You
and just
should
do
never-
right, be right.
Absolutely.
An option. That's your only option left.
That's right.
At that point, right.
Absolutely. So, are you clear? Any questions?
Well, real quick, I did want to. You did spawn one little thing. And, you know, I've heard you tell young men and older men in general, how they shouldn't, I think you've used the word spoil, like give their wives too much or whatever.
Right.
And so that was kind of on my mind.
I can't wait
because
to
you
talk
made
to
that
your
little
husband.
But,
No,
well,
I'm playing.
so my dad, isn't it okay though? Like my dad raised me to, you know, Danielle, this is how, he showed me how a man should treat me. He gave me my first, you know, flowers and jewelry and car and all that. And he set me up to have those expectations from my husband. And he always told me, you know, once you get married, this is what you should expect because I'm not going to do these things any longer. It'll be your husband's responsibility. So my husband does do that. So isn't that okay? Like that should not be
I want you to rush
considered.
home and before lunch apologize to your father for resenting him for spoiling you.
I don't resent him.
He spoiled you.
I do not resent my father at
Well, he
all.
spoiled you.
Not at
But just
all.
think what would
I
happen.
love that man. We just had the
But
best
just
time.
think-
Are you kidding me?
Think what would happen if your husband stopped spoiling you.
I would still love him just
No-
the same.
no,
I
you
don't
won't.
even need the material things.
Yeah, right.
I don't need the material things. No, I
But
don't.
you
I'm
think
whole,
that
perfect,
he-
and complete as I am.
You think he's treating you the way your father treated you. So
Yeah,
your
but-
father did these things for you growing up. You want your man to do the same thing.
I know not at all.
So if he stopped, it wouldn't bother you.
No, I don't need any material things,
But
Jesse.
I don't even
I'm
know why your
content.
father bought you all those things.
Because he wanted to show me how I should expect to be treated by my husband.
But that's not good. You should have been expected to be treated with perfect love by your husband, not with gifts.
But he didn't. I mean, I don't. I'm
Uh-huh.
I'm not the material. Yeah, I did get a little stumped right there. You guys, I was trying to like play it off, but but
A
Jesse.
father should never teach his daughter material things like that.
Well, I do. My father is amazing, and
He was a
I
what?
love him. He's amazing, and he's alpha. He sounds just like you half
I
the
know,
time.
but he should not have spoiled you like that with material things.
He didn't really. I mean, he provided for me. I'm the only girl. What do you expect?
He spoiled you. We gotta discuss
Well,
this
Jesse,
in Thursday.
okay, the last thing I will
We gotta
say-
discuss this in Thursday night women's meeting this
and
Thursday.
And you know I will be there. But the
Okay.
last thing I'm going to say is this. I could do without the material. I'm not a materialistic person, and I don't even ask. My husband just does it
Because he
automatically.
already knows
I
you
just
better
sit
do
back.
it.
Yeah, well, to be continued.
Yeah,
To be
all right,
continued.
all right. So listen, real fast.
It's a deep one, though.
Oh, no, well, we better wait. No, real fast.
You're talking about God not being moved by evil and sin out there. Well, God, he destroyed Sodom and Gomorrah, 2 cities full of sin, murder, lust, with fire and brimstone. Is that not the God being moved so much that he burned and destroyed the city with
God is
everyone in
not
it?
moved by evil. Evil has been defeated.
And,
And evil has no power or authority. So when Christ came, all that was
That's what
done.
I was going to ask. Did his reaction change after
When
after
all
Christ
that
gave
was
his
done,
sacrifice?
There's a new reality now.
Okay.
A new kingdom, a new reality. We are all free. We've all been bought back. All
Okay.
our sins have been wiped away, and we can live a free life.
But pre-Jesus, God was moved enough to destroy a couple cities.
But he still wasn't moved in the way you think move is.
That's still general. That's still general saying moved. I mean, moved
So what
means
now?
moved. I mean, I don't know. Moved means moved enough to do something. He was moved enough to destroy 2 cities full of people and animals and everything in it. That's what I was saying.
okay.
That's why when you said that, I was like, well, he did destroy 2 cities. So it's being pretty moved by something.
All right, thank you.
That's a good question.
Yeah. Amazing. Yes. You had a question? Okay.
I actually would like to support from a woman to woman why women cannot have both love and materialistic stuff.
Repeat that.
Why she can't be spoiled. If it comes from the place of abundance, not because it's necessary and her husband has to to go in extra effort, but if it's abundance and he can do that,
Right.
and he can shower her with love and presence, why it cannot be both?
I understand. Because the woman's heart is wicked, women are evil. And the man's job is to bring her out of her hell, right? And when you spoil her by giving her material things and abundant of stuff, it keeps her in her hell because it gives her a false illusion about who she is. And there's nothing wrong with a man buying stuff for the woman sometimes, but never to appease her ego. Never to. The man's job is to be the light of the family. He is the head of the wife. And he picks up where the father left off. And the father's supposed to be the head, right? And the kid's supposed to love the father, and the father's the light. So when she get married, she's really just being passed on to her father. But when men, because they have not overcome the spirit of the mother, and they're dealing with the spirit of the mother and the woman, they keep evil going on, and women don't become free because they've been spoiled.
Okay, and
That makes sense?
It does make sense.
It does make sense?
It does.
I can't hear you.
It does.
Okay.
And you were saying that
Now, there's nothing wrong with buying a little something, but not to make her feel good or make himself feel good.
but if it comes from the place that he wants to do that,
Yes.
then it's absolutely fine.
Absolutely.
Okay, perfect. And I have a question. Because you were saying that some people marry 3 times, 4 times. And as Colin was saying that I'm in my prime years as a woman.
You in your what? What? You're in your prime.
25.
You're 25? And you're in prime? What's up? But go ahead.
So, because it does resonate with me, and how women can choose a man for marriage based on what traits.
How can a man can choose?
A woman can choose a man based on which traits for marriage.
Oh, I see. The best way for a woman to choose a man for a husband is to not choose. Don't look for a husband, period. Only seek the kingdom of God. Find your way back home to the Father, and the Father will add one unto you if it's meant to be. and the one that he will bring into your life, because life happens naturally on its own. It doesn't need our help. Life happens naturally if you let it happen. And so if it's meant for you to have one, the Father will put one in your life, and it will be a marriage that will last until death do you part. It will be perfect love. You may or may not have some disagreement, but it wouldn't be a big deal at all. So don't look for a man at all. Do not choose a man. Only choose what's right.
And is there the traits that, let's say, that happen to be that you're proposed, and you want to see the traits in the man that will be good for the future husband?
But don't look for a trait in a man. Don't look for anything but what is right. And as you see what's going on inside of you, you're going to see what's going on in everyone else. You will see and you will know. Don't look for, get rid of the idea of traits and he got to be like my father, or he got to be this way, or those are false ideas that will set you up to pick the wrong man. You want a free, clear mind, and in that free, clear mind, the decisions will be made for you. Just like even now, you have never made a decision your whole life. It's been made by evil, but you thought it was you. Likewise, good will make decisions for you. We're not in control of anything.
Thank you.
So don't look for traits or anything. That makes sense? Amazing. Nice. Brand new biblical question. Brand new biblical question. Ooh. Doozy. Hey, you want to say what it is? This is so good, I want Hate to tell you the brand new biblical question.
Why do you think of other people?
Why do you think of other people? Why do you think of other people? Uh-huh. We need the barn answer. Sit in this row. Why do you think of other people? Yes, Raymond. I saw your hand, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
My answer is we were taught to think about other people. We were taught.
No, we're talking about you. Why do you think of other people?
That's exactly what I'm saying. I was taught that I can't always think about myself. I have to think about other people.
Oh, interesting.
Yes.
Very interesting. That is the brand new biblical question for this week. I want to hear from you about it. Well, it's also going to be up on X, JLP Talk on X, so I want to hear from the X crowd as well. Listen, I promise you, you could be free. It's up to you. Christ came that we all may have life, have abundant life, and perfect peace. If you don't have perfect peace, then something's wrong. It is abnormal for men and women not to have perfect peace, have perfect joy, all right? So stay working on yourself. Go and forgive your mothers. Every human being on this side of heaven must forgive their mothers and fathers. And I'm mentioning mothers because most people think that their mothers are good. No such thing. Most people think that they'll have to forgive their mothers, and that's why they're never free. You got to forgive both. Your mother is no good. Your mother is evil. And that's why she recreated you in her image. But you can start a new generation. When you forgive her, God will forgive you, and love will operate through you, and you will pass love unto your children, and a new generation will start. Then they will pass love unto their children, not anger. Anger is evil. So do the silent prayer, rebuildingtheman.com/prayer, and forgive. Face your mother. I know a lot of you are afraid of mama. Oh, I don't want to hurt her feelings. Or she may get mad. Or what will she think? All that is fear, and fear is not of God. So face her so you can overcome the fear, all right? And forgive your mother. Fathers love their children, but they can't handle the mother. So when they leave the mother. They don't leave the children. Forgive your father. They bait her. And this Thursday, at 7 p.m. The ladies forum every Thursday month. So this week is for ladies only at 7 p.m. So come on down, ladies. I appreciate, we're going to do the super chats tomorrow. And y'all know how to do the social media stuff. Subscribe, follow, like, ring the bell, all right? Do all that. Thank you for an amazing fellowship. Have a good week. Bye. Amazing. Nice.